All right, now in this lesson, we're going to break down the art of closing deals for high-end website projects. You've learned how to attract attention and present what you offer, but this is where most freelancers stumble. They over-explain and feel nervous about asking the business. Instead, you'll see how to lead a call, ask the right questions, qualify prospects, present your price confidently, and guide clients to make a decision. Many freelancers treat closing like a game of persuasion. They talk over prospects, they throw in every feature they can think of, and then they wonder why the client doesn't commit. I personally made that mistake early on, and I assumed enthusiasm would set the deal. What I learned over time is that closing is about guiding somebody to clarity. You're a consultant, you're not a carnival barker. The goal here is to create a space where they can decide, not to talk them into submission. Most people think the more they say, the more persuasive they are. And research on sales conversations shows the complete opposite. Top performers talk a lot less and listen more. Their talk to listen ratio is roughly 40-60, right? And that means more than half of your call should be spent listening. When you dominate the conversation, you miss the real problems that they need solved. The mindset shift is that closing is about clarity, not pressure. One call closes aren't high pressure tricks. They respect the client's time, address their issues, and provide the information that's needed to decide. When you're transparent about pricing, timelines, and value, you then create an environment where the prospect feels empowered to choose today. Confidence and clarity simply win. So let's walk through what a good call looks like. When the meeting starts, you're gonna wanna set the tone. Don't dive into a pitch. Lead the call and tell them what to expect. Hey, thanks for taking the time. I'd like to understand your business and your goals. Then I guess I could share how we can help. Does that sound good? This simple structure signals control and puts them at ease. Next comes the most important part. And write these down in a sequence of events to have for your own notes. Next comes the most important part, questions. Question-based selling is not about reading a script. Going in with a rigid agenda makes you panic when things shift. You're there to learn. Ask open-ended questions about their business. Like, tell me about your company. What services do you offer? What's working with your current website, if they have one? Then go deeper to uncover their ego, intellectual, and emotional pains. So if they say the site looks dated, ask, how does that impact your sales? This draws out real frustration. And after they answer, summarize what you just heard. Paraphrasing shows that you're listening and ensures that you are on the same page. Like, for example, if I understand correctly, your outdated design makes you look less credible and costs you leads. Does that sound about right? This simple technique builds trust and helps you pick up on details that matter. It also encourages them to expand on areas you might have glossed over. Listening isn't just silence, it's active. Paraphrase to show you understand. So if I hear you right, your current site hurts your credibility and costs you leads. Does that sound about right? Most people listen inefficiently and forget most of what they hear. But top sellers listen more than they talk and sell far above quota because they uncover deeper emotional reasons to buy. Asking good questions also means qualification. Top sellers disqualify ruthlessly. Watch for red flags like ghosting, no timeline, endless information requests, lack of decision maker involvement, or an obsession with price. When those signs appear, don't try to force it. Holding on to a dead lead is a sunk cost fallacy. Walk away so you can focus on clients who value your work. Guide them towards clarity. Ask, what does success look like 6 months after launch for you? And what's holding you back? Ask who else is involved so any decision makers are actually present with you on the call. And if they can't answer or are not ready, politely just take a step back. You can say, let me send some resources and we can reconnect when the timing is better. This preserves the relationship. It doesn't burn any bridges. Assuming the prospect is qualified and you've uncovered real pain, transition into your solution by mirroring what they told you. Don't rattle off features. Align your pitch with their words. Like, so based on what you've shared, your current site is costing you thousands of dollars, hurting your credibility. We've definitely helped similar companies by redesigning and optimizing for conversion. These numbers are very noticeable. See, you're not convincing, you're offering a tailored solution. And when it's time to discuss price, the rule is simple. You say the number and you stop talking. Dodging the price erodes trust. If they ask, how much does it cost? You can respond simply, our high-end website package ranges between $4,000 and $7,000 depending on the complexity. How does that sound? Then be silent. This all matters. The silence after your pitch matters. State your price confidently without justification. Great sellers simply transfer confidence. When you speak with conviction, prospects can feel that. Silence can feel uncomfortable, but it's your friend. The natural urge is to justify or discount, but resist that. Because when you stop talking, you hand the conversational ball over to the prospect. And they will either agree, ask a clarifying question, or raise an objection. All of those outcomes there are better than rambling and watering down your own value. And objections themselves are normal. They're opportunities to understand much deeper concerns. So addressing them head on can increase win rates by nearly 30%. Here's how to handle the common ones calmly. For example, when they say, it's too expensive, don't argue. Ask, so can you tell me more about why you feel the price is too high? Then shift the focus to return on investment, like what results would make this worth it for you? And highlight the cost of doing nothing, right? If they need to think about it, acknowledge the need for time and ask what concerns might remain. Then you schedule a follow-up. If they're loyal to another agency or need approval, validate their current choice, ask how it's working, and involve decision makers early. But throughout, stay calm, curious, and confident. Use open questions to explore motivators and acknowledge concerns. And when a prospect mentions working with another agency, do not badmouth the competition. You just simply ask, how's it working for you? Most clients will share what they like and what they wish was better. Those gaps there become your opportunity. If they say they don't have time to discuss, you need to respect that and ask, so is there a better time for us to connect? If there are multiple stakeholders, ensure they're invited early. Nothing kills momentum faster than having to repeat your entire sales pitch to someone who wasn't even on the call. And once objections are resolved and they see the value, it's time for the closing moment. Many sellers fear rejection and never ask for the sale. Don't leave them hanging. Ask a direct, non-pushy question like, so are you ready to move forward? Or what would you like to see next? If they hesitate, remind them of the cost of inaction and let them decide. And when they say yes, move immediately with the next steps. This is where you outline the simple process. You send a proposal and an agreement. They review and sign, and then a deposit secures the slot and a kickoff is scheduled. Clear steps reinforce momentum and prevent buyer's remorse. If they need to think, don't chase. Agree on a specific date to reconnect so the opportunity does not drift away. And throughout the call, remain calm with confident energy. Confidence drives outcomes. And when you believe in your own work, prospects can simply feel that. Desperation, though, will kill your deals. Abundance attracts them. Walking away from bad leads is as important as closing good ones. So to recap, closing deals is about giving the client clarity, not pressure. Lead the call with a clear agenda. Ask thoughtful questions to uncover real pain in qualified prospects. Walk away from unqualified leads. Align your solution with their words and transition naturally. State your price confidently and pause. Treat objections as opportunities. Ask for the decision early. And above all, exude quiet confidence. When you listen more than you speak and you stay in control of the conversation, deals happen naturally. Practice these principles and watch your closing rate soar. That's all for this lesson. I'll see you on the next.